Hello and welcome to the Walk in Love podcast. I'm TJ.
And I'm Brooke.
And today we're going to talk about a different way on how you can show up every day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for making us a part of your week. The Walk in Love podcast is a weekly conversation between
me and you.
Me and you.
Together?
Well,
Us?
last week you had told me to say like a weekly conversation, not between me and you, so that people
Well, it is
would
between
feel
me and you,
involved.
but I'm also like, that sounds like exclusive. It sounds like
Yes.
only me and you are part of this, which
Me
technically in theory
and
we are.
you and the Holy Spirit, which is always with us, and all of you listening about rhythms, emotions, parenting, faith. It's a place where we laugh and sometimes cry as we try to find language to live a full life.
And if you, all of us together, all of our eyes and all of our ears, if you like your listening to line up with your living, then you're in the right place.
And that just reminded me of a story. So I have two adopted siblings. One of them is named Uncle Michael. I think that's
His name is Michael, but
I think we should legally change his name to Uncle Michael. And even his kids call him that. And he used to say, I forget the context, but he would say like, my mom, because he couldn't speak English or he was from Russia. My mom, I mean, everybody's mom.
yeah.
And so when you're like, you, everybody's
it's
you.
the same. Yeah, because he would be like, people would be like, go ask mom or something, mom, or oh yeah, that's your
And he'd
mom.
be like,
and
I'd
he'd be
go
like,
ask my mom. That's what he used to say.
yes, and then he'd be like, everybody's mom. He like felt the need to clarify. That's so good.
Because we used to clarify to him, it's everybody's mom.
Right. Right.
But so
Yeah.
then he thought that was the word. Much like how he thought a fork was called to use a fork. Because we would tell him to use a fork. And then one day at dinner, he goes, pass it me, use a fork. Thinking that is what the whole utensil was called.
So good. I still say that to myself,
Shout out.
and I wasn't even there.
Big shout out to Uncle Michael.
Pass it me, use a fork.
Okay.
Okay.
I got a Mount Rushmore for you off the top.
Okay. Mount Rushmore.
Of Sunny Morrow items coming soon.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'm going to try to get specific, but
Okay.
here's what I want to do. I want to say dresses.
Okay.
Rompers.
Okay.
Like I want to be real general.
Yeah.
Not because I don't love the specifics, but because there's so much good stuff coming.
Yeah.
But off the top of my head, which keep in mind, I don't have all the items in my head right now. There are, okay, I'm going to go in between. I'm going to go halvesies. I'm going to be generically specific.
Okay, nice. That's how I am when I give information.
So helpful. I love that for us. All of us. Holy Spirit included.
You ask me when my flight is today, and I'll be generically specific and say it's this evening.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I am not lying.
Okay. Floral dresses.
Floral dresses.
Because there's more than one coming. Most of the floral patterns are pretty small, which is my personal preference. When I dig through my closet, I don't have a lot of very large patterned things. All of my prints that I enjoy are usually pretty small, which sometimes is called a ditzy floral.
Ooh.
Ooh. So there's some ditzy floral dresses coming. There's a like lilac purple one. There's a white one with like all colored flowers.
There's a few that are coming
there's a
like
black
super
one.
soon.
Yes, there's a black one with like daisies and like some smaller, yeah. And then there's like a blue and purple one that
Okay.
it's kind of hard to explain how the pattern
Ding,
looks.
ding,
But
ding. I'm carving ditzy floral into stone.
thank you.
Ding,
Oh
ding,
yes.
ding, ding,
So
ding,
some
ding,
tiny
ding,
little
ding, ding.
florals,
Okay.
ding, 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 to represent those. But like flowy. Oh gosh, I forgot about some of the plain
you
dresses
did.
coming.
You did forget about those. I have no idea what's coming.
Yeah. No, the dress that's coming in like that mushroom color and the matcha color
Yeah.
and the apricot. Say apricot. Sorry, I just have a deaf grocer. It's such a random deep cut. Okay, so ditzy floral dresses. King, king, king. Carve that in.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
I think
ding.
that's what the stone would sound like.
Well, they made Mount Rushmore with dynamite.
But not their faces.
Yeah, the whole thing is made
No.
with dynamite. 100%.
No.
I'll look it
How
up right
can
now.
you be that
I will look it up
specific?
right now.
You can't control a dynamite blast.
I am so pumped for you to submit to me.
Okay, while you're looking up that, my second thing would be the like, it really would be the I don't know what people want to call them. It's a
The
jumpsuit.
work was exciting but dangerous. 90% of the mountain was carved using dynamite.
okay.
Submit to me.
No, because you
Submit.
said all of it.
I didn't.
To which I said, no way, they couldn't get that specific and detailed with dynamite. But if you had told me 90% of it's dynamite and then the rest they went in and kink, kink, kink,
Oh
kink,
my word.
I would have said, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
You just refuse to submit.
Guess
Proverbs 31.
what? I know when your flight is tonight. So let's see who gets there on time. Okay. Jumpers, rompers,
Okay,
onesies.
wait a
I don't
second,
know
no.
what people want to call them.
Let's stop here. Let's pause this. So if I do something, if I painted a painting
Yes.
with 90% of paint
Okay.
and then used pencil on 10% of it, and I said, hey, look at that painting I painted, you would say,
No.
you didn't paint that.
No, that's not true.
You,
Because you didn't say, look at that painting I painted. You said it was carved with dynamite. You were being specific about what the tool that was being. It was, but not all of it. And that's what I tried to clarify. I tried to clarify with my immediate question.
Wow. This might be higher than the dancing, the bad dancing.
No, you're never specific enough. I'm just going to go ahead and say that right now.
Oh, guys, this might be our last episode. We made it 201. The wheels fell off.
And Michael fell out the back.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Itsy Flora. I've carved it in using a chisel, a very specific type of chisel.
Yes, what number was it?
Number
in
7.
Case I need to purchase
7
the chisel
slants.
again. Thank you. Helpful information. Guides my choices in life.
I get all my chisels at chisel.com.
Yeah.
Use the code.
Here's the code.
Okay, I'm interrupting
Chisel
a
me
bunch.
good.
So, Matt Clark and I, Matt was here for a month. We never had him on the podcast. Kind of got away from us.
Oh, shoot.
But he'll be back, and then he's going to move here. But one of our
Not for real. That's wishful thinking.
one of
We
our
all know that.
longest running jokes, and
The
this
two
is,
of you.
This is so dumb. But
I love it. I'm all in.
is when we play video games together, we act like we're live streaming. So, hey guys, welcome to the stream. You know, Matt and I are here, and we
No one, you're not streaming.
we're
Nobody's
just
there.
talking to each other
Yeah.
on our headsets.
Yeah.
And now we've added advertisements.
I love it.
So
The
one,
stream's got to make money somehow.
stream's got to
babe.
make money. It's got to bring in income. So we stream. We've now named ourselves the Naughty Boys.
Okay.
And so,
BOI.
and so it's
Boy?
like, so we'll start and Matt will be like, can you hear me eating chips? Because like sometimes you can hear him. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I can't eat any chips. But while we're talking about hunger, check out HelloFresh.com. HelloFresh will send meals to your doors. First 4 meals are free on us. Use the code Naughty Boys. And we can't stop.
It's a good bit. It's a
So
good bit.
I might add that bit a little bit to
I
the
love-
Log in the podcast.
I love
Just
that.
please note that
We're
none of
joking
these
every time.
sponsors are real.
Yeah.
Your code will not work.
We're going to start getting DMs. Hey, I was
Hey,
trying to use the
what's
code Naughty
HelloFresh?
Boys. The code Naughty Boys isn't working. I messaged HelloFresh. They didn't know what I was talking about.
Okay. It's plural.
Okay.
Carved in.
And then there are some, there are like the jumpsuit romper, depending on the brand. Like some people call them onesies, some people call them rompers, some people call them, I feel like they have a lot of names.
Okay.
There's some of those coming in
Nice.
some really fun colors.
Fun.
Super fun. So
Okay.
there's 2 that are going to be like the longer pant style
Okay.
version, but then some are like the dress version, but the dress version has a, it almost has like a built-in bodysuit underneath.
Wow.
So it's like kind of like your sports bra and kind of like your bike shorts, right? Because you're something that short or not really short, but like that open.
Yeah.
Like yikes spikes. So like it has it built in underneath where you can't see anything. What?
Speaking of spikes, we get all of our spikes.
I was like, lots of Michael references today.
Yeah.
That was also him.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know.
Carved him in.
I'm not really exactly sure. I think you're just chiseling the
Yeah.
actual item.
Yeah.
And then the shirt I'm wearing right now, this Elsie Shacket shirt thing,
Yeah.
I'm wearing it in black, is coming in like an oatmeal tan color.
Wow.
Pumped about that because
So
I
pumped.
love this
Yeah,
shirt.
you wear this thing all the time.
Yeah. And then, gosh, there's, I know.
There's a
There's
pretty
bodysuits coming.
Well, I
there's
can add
overalls
one.
coming.
I can add one.
There's
There's like a really fun cardigan coming soon.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. So
It's really
that's the only
fun.
one that I know that's coming.
That's a good one.
All right, cool.
There's a lot. So
SunnyMorrow.com at Sunny Morrow Shop on Instagram, or is it Shop Sunny Morrow? Why can't I remember it now? It's Sunny
now
Morrow
that you've
Shop.
said both,
It's Sunny
I
Morrow
don't
Shop.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
can find
think
it.
it's that.
That's exciting.
I'm excited.
I'm
Very
excited
excited.
for you being
I'm
excited.
excited to personally be able to wear more of the items.
Right.
I mean, I would. If I was mainland and it was cold, I
You'd
would be
wear 'em.
living in this stuff.
living in it, babe.
Literally living in it. But it's hot here.
Yeah.
And so it's not super fun to wear a flannel to Costco when I'm sweating.
Especially when
profusely.
Daisy's making you sweat.
Right. I almost clarified like the difference between like overstimulated rage sweat and then like it's
Speaking of
just hot
sweat, we use Native deodorant.
Yeah.
Use code Naughty Boys. Get 2 packs for the price of 1.
out.
It's so dumb.
It's dumb.
Um.
I feel like most good things in life are
Yeah.
kind of dumb.
Oh yeah. How was your week?
My week was good. It was. Yeah. I was traveling, ordering stuff for Sunny Morrow, touching stuff in person, figuring things out.
Yeah.
So I was gone for a few days, and the night Valentine's Day,
Yep.
which was what day of the week? Wednesday, because the girls had Valentine's at school that day.
Yep.
I got a text late. I was flying back early Thursday morning.
Yep.
Like I got up at like 4:30, and mainland time, and I woke up to a text from TJ
Yep.
that was like a play-by-play of how his night was going. I gotta
Yeah.
sneeze.
Go ahead.
And
I'll take over. So
Yeah. so my week really was good,
Yeah.
but I was like gone. I was like
Yeah.
out of it. I feel like
I was just like full dadding it up. Matt had his last
with
night
Matt's
here.
last few days.
Yep. And so on Valentine's Day night, I had a hot and steamy night. And
That's actually true in two different ways.
Yes. So I went to bed at like 9. Matt he left for the airport at like 9:00. His flight was at like 11:45.
Yeah, it was very late.
So he left, said
Red-eye.
goodbye to him. I sat on the couch. I think I watched like part of an episode of something, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go to bed. You know, the kids tend to get up earlier when there's only one parent in the house for some reason. I don't know if there's any science to that, but that's what
Or if it feels that way because one of us,
yeah.
you don't have the option for the other parent
Yeah.
to get up.
And so I went to bed 9:45, and then all of a sudden I wake up and Daisy's crying on the monitor. And so
Oh.
I kind of get up, I check it, I can see her crying, but she's like, you know, like as a parent, you just know the degrees of crying that your kids have. Like, oh, this is fake. Oh, this is nothing real big. Oh, they got hurt.
Cry.
Or like,
They need help.
Even in like sleep, you're like, oh, she's just asleep and crying.
Yeah.
You know, but she'll lay back down and it'll be over. But this was like, oh, she's uncomfortable. Like something's wrong. Not something's wrong, but like she's awake.
But kind of, yeah.
So I go downstairs. I think it's 3, 4 in the morning by this time because I'm.
Well, doesn't matter to you.
Yeah.
It's just vaguely specific.
Yeah.
So
I get down there. I pick her up. Like, you know, I go straight in to pick her up. And, you know, your brain is firing on slower cylinders as you think, you know, as in the middle of the night. And so I'm like, oh man, she stinks. And then I'm like, oh, she probably pooped. And then I'm like, nope, that's not poop. And this is all happening very slowly in my brain. That is vomit. And so I pick her up, hold her way too close to me for a baby that has just vomited. And now I can feel it on my neck and my face. And I set her down and I'm like, and it's like in her hair, it's on the side of her face, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, it's all over her shirt. I'm like, oh no.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, okay, let me try to get this shirt off. The shirt is going in the garbage. It is dead to me. It will never be worn by this child ever again. So I've tried to pull it off. And as I'm pulling it off, vomit flicks into my like nose mouth area.
Oh.
And so I'm like, bah. But I don't have any parent to fall back on. So I got to stay calm, stay cool,
Stay in it.
So I get the shirt off, I get her clothes off, and I'm like, what do I do? Like she's shivering, she's crying.
Yeah.
So thank the Lord above that we just had our water heater changed because our showers get so hot so quickly now.
Yes.
So I came
they stay hot.
upstairs, just sat in the shower with her,
Yeah.
tried to wash her face off and stuff. And then we went back down. And that's when I realized, oh, it's 11:45 p.m.
Mhm.
Like I've only been asleep for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I like that just shocked me.
Yeah.
And so I text Brooke because I'm thinking, oh, well, Brooke's about to leave soon. I'm going to give her a play-by-play. So I'm texting her. I gave Daisy a little drink of water. We're watching the end of some movie that they had started. And I'm texting Brooke a play-by-play. 11:45, wakes up. Daisy's crying. 11:45 and 11:46 gets her out of bed. 11:46 and 30 seconds realizes that she's vomited. 11:47 pulls off shirt, gets vomit in mouth. Like, and I'm giving her this play-by-play. And as I'm giving her this play-by-play, I'm texting her, and I think I'm being funny and so cool and just, just classic
So
TJ.
charming.
Yeah. Yeah. I just feel like that makes the information more digestible.
I love it.
Like it's not like a big long paragraph to stress you out. You can tell that I'm being sort of
Lighthearted
snarky.
in the like delivery of this is terrible.
Yeah. And right as I'm texting her this, I hear, and I'm like, oh no. So I reach my hand, I throw my phone to the side. I'm like kind of sitting behind her, reach my hands out, grab the blanket, and she barfs in my hands and the blanket, which is so fun. And all the parents out there say, yeah, I've been there. And so then I'm like trying to clean her up. It's dark. I don't have the lights on because I don't want to blind her. And so then I like get her cleaned up, start a load of laundry, like do the whole thing again. Thankfully, I didn't have to do the shower again. And then finish texting Brooke. 12:05 catches barf in his hands.
Yeah.
12:06, And so then that night, like I as a parent of 3, I've had some rough nights.
Yeah.
Parenting, but that one was towards
Top
the
5.
top 5 for sure. I think some of the top few are like June when she was an infant because you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm doing this right.
Context for
But
you're gonna be okay.
she just kept getting sick almost every hour on the hour. And I just like gave up on cleaning it up. I just like had towels that I let her barf in and then threw them on the floor and then fell asleep for 30 minutes and then woke up.
After like 2 or 3 times though, it was like the water barfs where it's like just like stomachness.
And so, yeah.
Sorry,
so
should there have been like a warning on this?
people
like
are
gag
fine.
warning.
People are fine.
Speaking of gagging. No. You picked something so random to have an add on.
Oh gosh. And so then Brooke got back the next day. June's stomach was hurting. At one point during the day, June threw up on my feet.
I was back at that point.
Yeah.
I landed on the island at 11:15, like right before lunch. I'm back. I was like, oh, everybody's doing okay. Junie's not feeling great, but like she's doing okay.
Yeah.
And then I leave to pick up my parents who were landing on island 3 hours after me. And as I'm pulling up, so Sunny's with me at that point, and as I'm pulling up to like, baggage
airport.
claim, whatever, I see your text pop up on the screen. June just threw up everywhere. It's like, awesome. This is so fun.
And then the next day, Sunny threw up everywhere. So it's just been
and then Daisy stepped on a bee at the beach yesterday.
Yep. And
then we've had some diarrhea. Am I allowed to say the word shart? I don't know. This has been a lot of more than one pair of underwear this week. I've said, you're dead to me. There's no way I'm cleaning that because we have enough and it's fine.
So my week was good.
Yeah. Yeah. And now you're not feeling so hot. So
I'm not feeling so hot, but I mine is not. I don't think I'm going to barf. I've only eaten a piece of toast today and I'm leaving tonight to go on an airplane. So I'm hoping I can just like conk out on the airplane.
Yeah.
And wake up feeling fine. Because the nice thing about it is like Daisy was sick for the first time at like 11:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then by 7 a.m. she ate a banana and was fine.
Yes.
So it was like
it does seem to be like almost under 12 hours.
Yeah. So it was this real quick thing.
The actual
gosh,
really, really, really bad part.
And it's almost, I think it's almost easier to handle that kind of stuff. There's part of it that's easier to handle when you're gone. Because you're just like, I got to step up. I got to do it all happen. And like, there's no moment of like, why'd you do like,
there's nothing in between whoever's trying to help you.
Yeah. Like
it's just all you.
Like, I'm not annoyed that you're still laying in bed while I'm getting barfed on because you're not here or vice versa.
But wouldn't you be annoyed I'm not there? You don't feel that.
I don't feel that because like, there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah.
Like you didn't, she didn't start getting sick and you left like to be like, peace, I'm out, so.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Valentine's Day was fun. That was Valentine's night. So Valentine's Day actually was fun. We had June's birthday this week, her birthday corner, which was the top birthday corner in existence
Mhm.
so
It was
far.
a really good one. To me, it felt, thank you for the compliment. I take that. I received that.
You
I
still
think-
won't submit to me though. Have we explained the submit to me
No.
joke? Okay,
no.
so
Do we though? Do we need to?
so
It's almost funnier if you don't.
Brad Ellis and I from Ellis Custom Creations started, I guess when we were in Austin or one time we were traveling together. Anytime someone would say something and someone would disagree, and later we would find out that one person was wrong,
Right. Yeah.
the person that was wrong would be like, I submit to you. And
Yeah.
so now it's something that we say all the time. I think it's a joke from his group that he then introduced to me that I've tried to introduce to our
Mhm.
family, but Brooke's pride just gets in the way and she can't do it. It's got
Mhm.
it's that 10% pride that you have.
Yeah.
Won't let you get there.
Yep. Just like the 10% that wasn't dynamite. Yep. Yeah. What was I just going to say about, the birthday corner?
Yeah.
That we've had some good ones. I will say that.
Yeah.
This one to me, I don't know if I would say this one was the best, which is fun that you think that, but to me, this one felt the most unique because I Googled I Spy birthday party.
Mhm.
I tried to see if I could get any ideas and I didn't see a thing. Nothing existed.
original.
Specific to the actual I Spy books. There was
Yeah.
scavenger hunt birthdays and things like that. But I was like, okay, so
New territory.
challenge accepted. When I did
What would you put what's your top birthday corner then?
I really liked your Mario one.
Okay.
That one was really good.
That's top 3.
That's
That's my second
But I
place.
also I was able to see stuff. I was like, okay, this is how I make those flowers.
Yeah.
Because people have made all those things before, and I just took pieces and put it all together.
Here's my order. Here's my Mount
I don't even know if
Rushmore
I can.
birthday corners, 90% dynamite.
Okay.
I Spy.
Yeah.
Mario.
Yeah.
The original birthday corner.
Yeah.
The one that started it all.
Yeah.
Which was when you turned 30. And
Your Top Gun movie popcorn was.
and then the
pretty good.
Top Gun movie. Yeah, 2 of the 4 have been for me.
Yeah.
That's because you're better at you're better.
Well, I
at it.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
I also feel like it's kind of hard to remember some of the girls' ones. I'd have to look at them.
Yeah.
I've gotten more elaborate as they've gone
Yeah.
on because I really, truly enjoy that. I
Yes.
have where in life would I need to use my skills, which I do have,
Yeah.
of making things like that. When I don't work in a theater, I don't work in an event design for weddings or
Right.
anything, or I don't ever need to just make
Because you always
a
really
giant,
enjoyed doing the when we had a retail store. You always really enjoyed
the
doing
displays
window
and
displays,
the that kind of stuff. And I just don't do anything
Yeah.
like that anymore. And so the birthday corners have become my outlet for
But you
such
keep
a
raising
thing.
the bar.
Thanks.
The bar's
I love
high. So
it. It's fun.
I'm next.
Wow. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Sunny has 9 ideas for yours.
Yeah, she
already.
keeps telling me, do you want me to tell you your theme? No, let's keep it secret. Okay. I think you're gonna like it. Okay. All right. So while you were
That's so
traveling, you had texted me this picture that really kind of
Yeah, I think I found it on probably Instagram,
Yeah.
maybe Pinterest. Sometimes I find stuff there.
uh,
It was just this little drawn image.
Okay. explain it.
It's not a meme, but I feel, sort of.
It's not a meme.
It's not a meme at all. But here's the thing: unless I'm watching someone's actual video, I feel and it's not a photo of your family. To me, I think I am realizing right now in this moment
Okay.
that sometimes I use meme, meaning it was a graphic on Instagram. This is not the same thing. Those are called graphics on Instagram.
So 90% of things on
Yeah.
Instagram are memes.
Mhm. Yeah. Anyway, saw this. That actually probably is true. I saw this little illustration is probably what it was that said something along the lines of what we think it looks like to show up every day.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how it was
Yes.
phrased, not to show up daily. What we think it looks like to show up every day. And then it was 5 or 6 circles below, and each circle was completely filled in.
Yep.
Like a Scantron test, all the way in. And then on the next slide, or maybe it was right below it, it said what it actually looks like to show up every day. And it had the same amount of little circle bubbles to fill in. And the first one was halfway filled in. The next one was a quarter filled in. The next one was all the way. The
Yep.
next one was a third. The next one was 2/3. It was just showing you that that still counts as showing up every day. And so I sent it to TJ and I was like, oh, that's really helpful because I know that to be true. In my brain,
Do you?
see, this is the thing.
Do you though?
Do I though? but I could push back and say the same thing to
Generally,
you.
specifically, do you?
Generally specific. I've never put those two phrases together. I think that's what I think that was the like little light bulb moment for me.
Okay.
Is that I have the phrases already and I use them and believe them that like little by little we will get somewhere.
Right.
Baby steps matter. Start small, start today. Like I'm all in on all those
The greatest
things.
step you can take
Is
is
the
the next one.
first one? Oh, okay. Nice.
That's from I think the last book, Words of Radiance.
Oh,
by
a book I have
Brandon
not
Sanderson.
read. Okay.
Journey before destination. If I was to become a radiant, I think I'd tend to lean towards the windrunners, just in case
Wow.
anybody was wondering. So
Yeah. Good to know.
you would not be a windrunner.
Me?
No. Brooke as a windrunner.
And so I believe in those phrases and I think I do a decent job, or at least I'm constantly reminding myself that like, that is true. Like if I little by little, I will
Yes.
get this work job done, or little by little, I will teach my kid to do whatever. Like
Yeah.
I believe that and I know that.
Yeah.
I've never lived in that space and used the phrase of showing up every day. Like to me, those like phrases they didn't overlap or anything.
Okay.
And I think that's what was so helpful, because what that little drawing was showing was little by little, like whatever you've got to give that day is going to get you somewhere and it counts. But whenever I decide, yeah, that's something I want to do every day, like eat well or work out
Right.
or do something like that, I do end up living in this like all or nothing type mentality,
Yeah.
which I think is pretty normal. I think a lot of people do that.
Right.
But seeing that little drawing next to each, like I'll find it and share it
Yeah.
or make my own or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just like, yeah, I feel almost silly saying that it was a light bulb moment
Right.
because of how much I already apply that in other areas of my life.
Yeah.
But then I was just like, oh, that's like really true though.
Well, I think for you, if tell me if I'm wrong,
Okay.
but I think one of the things that you often like put pressure on yourself or should over yourself is should. That's should. I don't know how to spell it. Is that I think like specifically with work and work related tasks, because we've talked about this, I think before. Have we ever talked about the podcast of like you make a priority list and like
Yeah,
One-
we were talking about
yeah.
jumping to like numbers 87
Yeah,
because it's
because,
just
like,
like why not?
yeah.
That'll make me feel better.
And so I think the reason that you jump to number 87 is because you can fill out that full circle. Like it's
Yes,
not a
100%.
half circle.
It's a complete.
It's
It's
not
a
like
completely
it's not
filled
like
in
just
bubble.
one line of the circle that you then will add to over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think what we've been learning over the last 2 years is that like we don't have the literal physical time with 3 children
Mhm.
and homeschool and just the general like, and again, this is not a complaint. This is not a like woe is us. This
Right.
is just a like a look at our like a
know
look,
what season you're
Yeah,
in and then
yeah.
live in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
and so our like because we used to have seasons, especially before kids, where it's like, oh, here's this big circle. Let's finish this today.
Yeah.
Let's color this whole
wild.
thing in today and
Yeah.
be done with it.
Or even not a task, but just like I want to work out every day for 35
Yeah.
minutes. Like I had the time
Yeah.
to fill in that circle
Yeah.
completely.
And I think I would argue that we still have the time, but it just feels different and it's
Yeah.
harder and it takes more sacrifice and more oomph. But like, I'll use an example from way back in the day, like when we used to have the store. Like there would be days where we'd nights where we'd reflip the whole store for like a new season or something like
Mhm.
that. And I would just do it. I would just stay there until 2, 3, 4 in the morning,
Yeah.
flipping the store,
Mhm.
knowing that like, oh, I'm going to color that whole circle in and then I'll just sleep all day because I
Yeah.
could,
Yeah.
and so like that kind of stuff doesn't exist anymore. And so I think that we, over the last 2 years, have been honestly retraining ourselves to like not have that mentality
Yeah.
because that mentality is not sustainable. It's
No.
not healthy. It doesn't allow you to live rhythmically.
Mhm.
It doesn't allow you to have healthy rhythms in your week, in your day, in your month, in your year. And so I think that's why it spoke to you, because I think part of it, I think, was a little bit of conviction of like, oh, I sort of see life like this. Like if I can't color in the whole circle, I'm not good enough, or I'm a failure, or I'm not trying hard, or whatever. And that's just not true.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It was, it felt, I'm trying to think of the specific areas of life that it felt more applicable to. It's obviously, it applies to everything.
Right.
I think I felt it a lot in the like personal, like fitness. I think I felt it in
Yeah.
there. Maybe in some of the like health, food related things. And then even in other things like even in like some specific parenting things, or I don't know. It just, again, I say it a jillion times, when I can see something visually or
Right.
have some, whether it's like a word picture. So it's like, it's a mental image of
meme.
what's going on, like a meme, or actually a real life picture or drawing of something or example of something or chart or graph.
Sculpture.
That's why those things exist. Sculpture made out of dynamite. Yeah, sometimes it just really clicks. And I think I actually don't know if I felt convicted. I think I felt excited and inspired that like I would rather have that bottom section of what it actually looks like, where it's like half filled in, all filled in, not filled in, next day barely filled in. Like, the woo, I would rather have that than all blank bubbles.
Right.
Because I'm not in a season, like you just said, of coloring in every single bubble every single day, like total completion, totally done, totally like, that's just not life right now.
Right.
And so,
Here, let me throw this at you. Okay. Picture the empty circle.
okay.
Okay. When you say filled in, what are you filling it in with? Like when you let's say you're coloring half of it. What is that? Like, what are you accomplishing something, or like what's going like, you draw the circle
Okay.
and now fill it in halfway.
Under the context of what we think showing up daily looks like.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, is it work? Is it?
No, it's actually not work. And I
Okay.
think that's because we have systems and stuff in place over there. It's more personal stuff.
Okay. Like what?
It's like it's more the parenting things. It's the working out. It's the like, hey, I'd like to eat less sugar because when I eat less, I feel less like garbage. So there's a great idea.
Right. Yeah.
So instead of being like, I have to
never touch a drop of
never,
sugar.
never, or this
Yeah.
or that, or immediately or whatever. Like so I don't know. I don't know if what I'm filling in is like the effort given, or if I'm filling in like, I don't know. It doesn't feel super task specific to me.
Okay,
It feels
that's
more
interesting.
general. And that's why I feel like I don't have a word for it. So like maybe it's effort, maybe it's emotional, maybe it's like believing I have enough coins, like something to do with that. Like if this day I have enough coins to fill in half, and if this day I have enough coins to literally put one single drop in there, that like.
But it's
Yeah.
it's things. So you're describing things that are hard. Like,
Yes.
So for you,
Yes.
the circles are things that are
Things that are hard that I end up feeling like I don't have it. I can't do it today.
okay.
I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. It won't happen. Therefore, I'm going to give zero effort. Versus
I
I don't have, I can't go on an hour and a half walk, but so instead, I won't even walk a single lap around the neighborhood,
Okay.
because like, it's not the same. It doesn't count.
Right.
Because I had this other idea of what it could or should or needs to be or want it to be. Sometimes it's
Right.
not all bad. Sometimes it's a genuine like, gosh,
Yeah.
I wish it was that.
But it's all like, so your circles, your empty circles, when they're filled up all the way. Again, I just want
Yeah.
I'm asking for clarity because I look at the completely different.
Mm.
And so I think that's always helpful for you, everybody's mom listening, that we clarify some of those things. So like for you, it's like when you fill up a full circle, it's because you did all the hard things that day.
Yeah. In this moment, the first time talking about it and
Interesting.
processing it, I would say that that's probably accurate. I did all the things that I thought I wouldn't have enough for, because I wake up every day thinking I won't have enough.
Right.
Not that I'm not enough. I'm
Right.
sure it's tied in somehow, but
Yeah.
I listen to a song about not being enough or whatever, and like I don't weep. Like
Right.
like it's not my go-to thing.
Then you listen to Who Let the Dogs Out, Waterworks.
And so And who knows? Maybe some therapist would be like, "It is your thing. It just
Yeah.
shows up like this."
Right.
And maybe that's true. To which I would argue, yes, it shows up like that.
So for me, the empty circle, if a full circle was filled in,
Yeah.
that means I did all the things I needed to do that day. Like I did my exercise, I ate healthy, I did all the work tasks that I needed to do.
Mhm.
I did all the I didn't. This is like sort of like a didn't. I didn't spend a bunch of time on my phone. Like I was able
So it's
to
almost like if you had written out
Like-
your like what do they call that? Like your ideal day. Yes.
ideal day, ideal week.
Ideal day. And if you checked every box of your
The
ideal
circle
day,
is full, and I showed up
you
completely,
would fill in your circle
fully.
completely.
and I have accomplished
Right.
showing up fully.
Mhm.
And so to me, there's like an element of like, what kind of expectations have I put on myself? And
To always be at like max.
to always be at max level, but also to not look at like, and this is where I really am trying, like, and teaching the girls' school has sort of helped with that. Is like I am learning and continually trying to like rewire my brain. I think honestly, of just like I can sit with June while she reads, and that counts as showing up. That
Yes.
counts as filling up the circle.
Yes.
We can play a board game,
yeah.
and that counts as filling up the circle, even though TJ of 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even 6 months ago would think like, no,
There are only certain things that would fill up your
Yes.
circle. Predetermined boxes that would
that I
end
need
up
to check.
completing your circle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to have some things that really matter to fill up your circle. Like I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'm going to throw all of them out and just like be like, oh, I can just do whatever I want. And
Right. It
every
all
day,
counts. It all fills
every
it up.
day
Yeah.
the circles fill, because I don't think that's true. Like for me, a big one is exercise. Like I need to exercise a certain amount a week,
Mm-hmm.
like to be a stable, functioning human being.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I definitely am relearning that like what actually, so like for your second row there, what it actually looks like showing up, like
Mm-hmm.
to me, I am relearning that like while there is part of that filled up, the other half is still full. It's just full with things that I didn't expect or that I didn't deem as worthy of counting as showing up, but they
Yeah.
actually are, because they're like conversations with you and walking around the block with Daisy and doing the dishes and like stuff like that. And so it's like every day my circle actually is full. It's just the way that I perceive, like to me, it's like, how am I perceiving what matters more than what, like something matters more than it's all on this scale. And I end up tending to like not fill it with relational things in the name of tasks that need to be done, because those seem to matter more in my mind.
Yeah.
But in reality, like
Mm-hmm.
when I am a grandpa,
No, I shouldn't say none of those things will matter, but they will pale in comparison
to the relational,
Yeah.
the way I relationally filled that circle.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and so to me, it's almost like I need to separate and have two circles. And one is like, here are the tasks that I need to do today, or that I want to do that are part of a longer series of accomplishments, mostly work related.
Yeah.
And then here is the circle of relationships. And how am I going to actively fill that today?
Yeah.
Like, because by default, I won't. I will just be a loner a little bit,
Yeah.
you know? And so I have to actively remind myself to fill that circle. And so, as we've talked about it, like I definitely look at it differently than you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, mine's specific. Mine's like, you know what I would like to do? In 20, it's like starts with big statements, big things, right? Because I feel something big. And so I think that an equally enormous solution is the only thing that's going to fix it. I feel like I'm not out. I'm making this up. Like I'm not outside enough, because I'm outside a lot, but like I feel this, I feel that. And so I'm going to walk every day. And here's what that looks like. Walking every day is an hour and a half and I'm alone and the weather's always great and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And so then, it's not even unrealistic, which it is. It's even more than that. It's just like a little delusional of like that only that version would count.
Yep.
Therefore, if I walk 10 minutes today and 5 minutes the next day, and then
Right.
30 minutes. And then when I do go for an hour, I'm taking a stroller
Yeah.
and I'm taking a kid with me. Like I tend to just wipe all those things
Right.
right off the table
And
is not counting because of this predetermined thing. And so that's what jumped out to me
Yeah.
is like, oof, I still do that in certain areas where I think it's this way or it's no way.
Right.
Or I just give up. I think, oh, because it's not that way, it's not even like a stubbornness of like, it's no way. It's just like that's not what I said it would be
So
to
now
myself or
Yeah.
anybody else. And so,
that's a big one for you. Like, it's not what you said it would be to yourself. Like, you don't even share stuff
no,
like
I don't
that.
share anything. I mean, that's not totally true, but kind of. Yeah, no, it's really what I said to myself. Like I told myself it would be this way because I'd put thought into that and I thought that was a good
Right.
plan. I thought it was a good thing. And then when that doesn't happen because of life,
Yeah.
I tend to just be like, well, then guess I'm not filling it in at all today.
Yeah. I mean, you're describing, we're halfway through February and you're describing why most New Year's resolutions
Yes,
fail.
it's
like, it's
exactly
got to be
that.
this way. I'm going to be so
Right,
intense.
like-
And then like you read a book like Atomic Habits, which is
Mhm.
like always on the bestseller list because I think it's just so applicable is like, it starts with these tiny habits that you stack on top of each other. Like
Yeah.
you want to floss your teeth. You want to floss every night, floss one tooth a night. All of a sudden, like,
Yeah.
boom, blood everywhere. It's like when I if I have a buddy that's like, hey, I want to get in shape. Here's what I'm going to do. And it's just like, poof, this like
Yes,
laundry
I'm like, well, that's
list.
changing
And I'm
your
just
whole
like,
life. And
that's not possible. Like you are going to fail. You've already failed by setting these like outside of
Yes.
reality goals.
Yes.
And so
mean,
why don't,
pause you. Don't lose track on your fitness person.
Pause.
But like pause. But that's what I feel.
yeah,
Like I've already set these unrealistic goals, which look like a circle filled in every day.
Yeah.
But I've got hundreds of circles to fill in every day.
Yeah.
I've got a circle for every different area, almost like a domino
Yeah.
type vibe. And I think they all need to be filled in versus
Right.
like this one was complete, this one was half, this one was a
Yeah.
quarter, this one was almost, this one is blank today.
yeah.
But it won't be tomorrow or it won't be next week. Like
Right.
that's what it is. It's
Yeah. And I do think there's seasons, like, especially when you think about fitness, like, or eating healthy, like there's definitely a season where like you need to be hardcore and you're just like, I need to detox or like
I'm
be a
not
little
saying that
extreme
the
and
goal
just be
should
like,
never
I'm
be
going to
like,
fill in the
for a
circle.
week, I'm going to do this.
I'm going to fill in the
challenge
circle
yourself.
every day for the month because this really matters. I mean, it's why people get such results from 75 hard. It's like this very intense,
It's bonkers.
thing that you're going to do and commit
Yes.
to. But it's only for a season. Then after that season, hopefully you're still filling in that circle
Mhm.
various amounts during the day,
Yeah.
Anyway, so get this long list of like all these things a buddy of mine's going to do. And I'm just like, I don't want to tell him, hey, you're going to fail at this. Like,
Yeah.
this is too big of a change.
Yeah.
And I remember, I forget what book this was in. It was either in like The 4 Hour Body or Atomic Habit. I think it was a 4 Hour Body by Tim Ferriss. He talked about how a guy lost weight because he weighed himself every day.
Mhm.
Like that was the only thing he did. He didn't start exercising. He didn't go on this, like, he didn't change his diet. Like he wasn't like, oh, I'm doing Atkins or
I'm doing
this or
this or
that
that,
or whatever. Like he just weighed himself every day. But
And that knowledge made subtle changes
made him
that
make
compounded.
subtle changes over a long period of time. And all of a sudden he lost 30, 40 pounds.
Yeah.
And so like, there's this element of like, I think we set goals with a circle filled in every day for a year.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
we do that for 6 days, 7 days, a month if we're really like, and then they're empty
Yeah.
for the rest of the year.
Right.
Or there's like a week in June where we do it again.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying is that like, that's what I still do. Really, truly only in a few specific
Yeah.
areas. And I'm realizing that if I could picture a bubble chart, which is interesting because it's a similar concept to the girls' bubble chart of like, hey, you have this many circle bubble minutes in a day
Yeah.
and you had 4 hard minutes right here.
Yep.
Look at how the rest of this isn't filled in.
Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite. But like if I looked at a month or a year
Yeah.
and had all these bubbles halfway filled in or, whatever,
Quarter,
varying
yeah.
degrees of filled in. And I squinted and because you squint and then how
Yeah.
it like takes away and it only shows you like the
Yeah.
contrast. Like I would be
It would look
like
90% full.
I would end up looking at
Yeah.
it and think, oh my word, that all of that counts.
Yeah.
Like that added up to so much.
And it would be much more than 30 days of doing it all out.
all in. Yes.
I think
Yes. Because I would, if I saw 365 circles and 30 of them
we're
were
filled in
randomly filled in,
and all the rest were
and,
empty.
like, especially 30 in a row.
Yeah.
Like not just 30 sporadically,
Yeah.
you know, I'd be like, oh, well, did that actually impact
Someone
your
stop-
whole year and your whole life,
start-
your daily life? I don't think
And
so.
that was one of the reasons we switched from taking the weeks off of our cell phones to
Instead of like a complete detox for 30
now
days.
it's like now I've got Opal and so it just like I'm spending actually like I will spend less time on my phone this year than any other year, even the year that I took a whole month off.
Yep.
You know, and that's pretty powerful when you think of it that way. So
yeah.
That is all that we have for you today. The collection, the February collection part 2, which has 2, 3, 4 designs.
5.
4 designs, 8 items.
I think so.
Comes out on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
And if
There's
you
a new slow down design.
slow down design is fire.
So good.
Yeah. I don't use the word fire a lot.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
but this
so-
one is fire.
Yeah. So if you use the code as a podcast listener, if you use the code FEB24, FEB24.
Not the code I thought you were going to give.
No, naughty boys. No, I already made it, so I can't change it. Feb24, you get extra savings for the first 72 hours. So we'll send an email code that will be 24 hours.
Right.
But as a podcast, you got 72 hours, 3
You have
days.
more time to use it.
Saving the
before
collection.
it expires.
If you want to support the Walk in Love podcast, buying a t-shirt is a great way to do that.
Yeah.
And so we thank you for that. And we thank you for listening. And we thank you for making us a part of your week. Okay, I love you. Bye.